What's up, everyone? Marcel here with Grim Realms Gaming, and today we got an oldhim hybrid deck list to show you. Warning: this is absolutely no testing whatsoever. It's just me giving a shell. However, I've watched enough stuff around and just forming my opinion for a shell. The final result's completely up to you, or you might just like what I give you. But anyway, let's get to it. All right, what's up, everyone? Here we are with the deck portion of the list. Now, we're going to go ahead and scroll down. All right, I'm going to show you how many Earth cards I got. We got 3, 6. Now, this is, of course, not very important for trying to fuse because oftentimes you're just taking heavy amounts of damage, but that's it's not necessary. Based on what I've been doing with the hand tester, I don't find it critical or anything like that because we're not running a huge amount of earth fusions other than awakening. But then again, you want to be taking a huge amount of damage simply because of righteous cleansing, mango or spinal crush, or even endless winter. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can get with awakening and the general game plan is, of course, going to be a no-fos and swing, but well, that's only depending on what kind of hand you got. If you got something that's got like emboldens, hopefully it's alongside these because you can get some pretty good card draw out of that. And not only that, Tone of Harvest is very good for setting up. And now on to the Earth cards and why I chose them. Earth Lord Surge does cost 2, but it gives a +3 and it's a blue pitch. And all of a sudden it's an Earth card, so every once in a while you might be able to fuse it, but with Awakening. But oftentimes I'm finding myself to where I'm thinking I'm just gonna take a big hit. Sometimes it might matter, but oftentimes, you're just taking a good enough hit so you can get yourself access to the various amount of toolbox material that you have access to this deck. You got Cranial Crush for shutting off those big dory turns or card draw engine turns. You got Endless Winter up against activated ability decks. More specifically, this can really hurt Kano for that matter. They want to crack boots, so they're creating frostbite if they get hit by this. Or this is going to strip cards out of Kano's hand, which is not a very bad idea. You got Mango if the attrition war goes along. Spinal Crush is up to a free because it's relevant just across so many matchups except the Guardian Mirror or other stuff, but there's enough matchups to where Spinal Crush does have an impact. Regarding Righteous Cleansing, it's raw damage, but not only that, it can do some work against certain style decks that like having too many copies of a certain card. Uh, yep. Overall, the general game plan that you're looking to do right here is if you don't have a setup turn to where it involves Bolton or Blessed Deliverance or something like, for example, Terra Sunder, or if you don't have a stamp before it, you do run the Mage Master Boots combo, which is not bad. But overall, what you're trying to do here is you're swinging with hammer and blocking when you don't have a setup turn. And when you start seeing awakenings in conjunction with a Boltons, or you could just play a Bolton, draw your hand, and oh, look, there's an awakening. My game plan changes now. And all of a sudden, you can set up the awakening alongside with the Boltons or even the Earthlore searches. These are actually very good because they cost you. So a single blue pitch will enable +3 and a seismic surge, and that's another thing. You want to be seismic surging, and you might just draw yourself into a hand of a Terra Sunder and Earthfloor surges, which can be very powerful. No doubt about that. Now, onto the sideboard. We're going to be looking at the free blizzards and the free channel lake frigids. Now, these are going to be more specifically against the aggro decks that are trying to go exactly wide, as Matt Rogers mentioned in his Lexi build for the lightning style. That deck wants to be overwhelming you, and we got to be able to. I'm not going full control with this style deck. This will probably transform it into a mid-range style build. But these cards will be coming in against that Luxy build, no doubt about that. But we also have another card. Pummels will also be coming in against Lexi in particular, or any other go wide deck, because we want to be stripping resources out of their hands and making them block, whatnot. And of course, I got a 2 of Enchanted Melody. Enchanted Melody is rather flexible in what it can do. You don't want to be playing against ping decks, Prism, Kadachis, Rune damage style decks, stuff like that. Unless, of course, they're shooting out globs of arcane free damage, then I doubt it, but it might be worth it if we start seeing that. But on the other hand, you do. Enchanted Melody is really rather useful. For example, Dory, now they have to factor in math. How heavily is he going to block in? It actually adds up on how you're going to get rid of Enchanted Melody, and they could just heavily block and make it so very difficult for you to get over the hump, because all of a sudden 12 defense in most hands now all of a sudden becomes 16, and that's rather annoying if you're not doing any ping damage, which is where this thing really, really excels and shines. Dory, Guardian Mirror of any type, it doesn't matter. Heck, even Brute for that matter, but weather version, it don't matter. Now, the ramp of the Ram's Head and of course the Winter's Will, that'll come in just in case we start seeing, for example, Dash does have somewhat of a role to play in this metagame. Not 100% certain, or if a certain deck, for example, Shane likes breaking up the board too as well. And based on some testing, Shane might be more so back than you might think, because it does have quite a few activated abilities, no doubt about that, that can break up the combat chain, and it plays a bunch of non-attack actions, so might come in handy. I'm not 100% certain how prevalent this will be, and then how many Dash and Shane style decks that love breaking up the combat chain, or even a new style deck that just loves playing a bunch of non-attack actions in conjunction with attack actions. I don't know, but anyway, um, that's it. Thanks for watching. This is Moss Royale from Grim Rounds Gaming. Have a good day.